This video was sponsored by Enhance, Elbilmek, ABRP Planner, Kempower and Bilkomponenter.
Yo, what's up? Today we're going to do a quick test of MG IM6. So yesterday I did the IM5, it's like a sedan version. This is a lot bigger car. It's 4.9 meters long, bigger than Model Y actually, longer than Model Y, and longer than ID4, for example, the Skoda Enyaq. It has the same drivetrain as the IM5, you know, 751 horsepower, 100 kilowatt hour battery, 800 volt architecture, charges at 395 kilowatt. Actually 10 to 80% averages 250 kilowatt. 0 to 100 in this car is 3.5 seconds, if I remember correctly. It has 12 degrees rear wheel steering, you know, but let me just show you quick what it looks like. Sorry, it's a bit dark now. This is the only time I can do it. I've shown you before in the white in Thailand, but if you guys haven't seen it, plenty of space. I guess we'll do a quick overview. Just sit in it. Whoa! Yeah, the space here feels similar to a Model Y, but we have almost 3 meter wheelbase here. For example, Model Y has only around 2.7 or 8, I think. But here, so, yeah, wow. Interior is similar to the IM5, but way better space here. Yeah, the IM5, you could put the feet under the front row, but there's like okay space. Here is way better. Still one USB port there. And then here we have the center. Oh, that goes down, okay. Oh, a lot bigger center console. But hey, still no ski opening. Maybe they don't use ski in China. Okay, anyway, we should be able to recline also. Sorry. Yeah, you can recline the seats. But okay, what you guys want to see is going on in the front. But actually, let me do a quick back also. Acoustic glass, of course, front and back. And then in the trunk here, yeah, just like the IM. Whoa. Whoa, stop. Oh, wait. Okay. But wow, plenty of space in the trunk here. Unlike the IM5, where it's kind of tight. Yeah? Wow. Yeah, it looks quite big. Whoa, look at this. Big, deep well here. Wait, can we open up this part also? Oh, that's weird. Seems like you can't. Okay. But all right, seems to be good enough space here. Close the trunk. And then to open the frunk, we just double tap here. Wait, where is it? Here. There. Wow. Well, kind of small for a big car like this. Seems to be smaller than Model 3, especially smaller than Model Y. Nice comfy seat in the front. And oh yeah, you see, unlike the IM5, the IM6 has the breadcrumb collector. Ooh, great. Also have ambient light, you can change the color. You have the same screen config here. You see? And here, I've logged into my own Spotify now, yeah. Hi boy, snart er skatten vår. And then we have the smaller screen down, or actually, a fairly big screen here. Here's where you do lots of the configuration. Yeah, see settings here. But okay, and then here's the juicy part. Oh yeah, we have car scanning working. So I can show you that, I'm not sure it's easy to show you. It's down here somewhere. Can you see it there? Yeah, kind of. That's the OBD port. I plug it in. And yes, for you guys who follow me on live stream, the OBD LX, it was missing. Turns out that it was in the Audi A6 e-tron Sportback. And then Christine from Mølle was so nice to send it back to me. Yeah, so here, I set it up. I had to configure a brand new config, but it's actually using the, let me see, I have to, okay, go back here. There, I'm using the MG4 EV Cyberster profile, and it works. I think the data here should be correct, right? Okay, loading all the data. Okay, it takes a while to load them, but see, okay, So 81.8% state of charge, 843 volt, wow. 2.1 amps, battery power, okay. This is DC-DC converter. Traction mode is 0. Cell min max. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what this is. Inlet, maybe? And then I chose some cell min max voltage and some, I don't know, the copper bus bar max temp and some traction and so, okay. And then here the accelerator. Yeah, so 100%. Yeah, so, okay. I wonder if I'm the first one to review the IM6 with car scanner or with canvas data available. So since we already have the car now and it's, okay, where's the time now? Wait, there. Okay, it's almost midnight. You might as well just go for it and maybe do a low temperature range test. It's 5 degrees Celsius. And then try to do a charging test at Ioniq to see how fast this beast from the east can charge. And I think this might be the car that many people want. Maybe not so much on the IM5 because the IM6 is more spacious and still the same awesome drivetrain and the same interface, but more features unlike the 5, like with the seats and stuff. And then when it comes to price, well, this doesn't have the 21-inch wheels, so it's the 100 kilowatt hour all-wheel drive, and it costs 540k NOK. So it's only 40k NOK more than the IM5, but man, for that price, all the stuff you get here, you have to compare this against a Model Y Performance, for example. But then, well, I don't know if I have time for a banana box, maybe not this time, but it seems to be quite spacious, So for that price, it might be a freaking killer. At least now, when I'm just driving in the neighborhood there, it's nice and comfy. I feel like it's a big, spacious car, similar to maybe an Audi Q6 e-tron. Well, it seems like actually most of the variables here are working in car scanner, except for maybe the traction motor. Okay, the lowest there. But yeah, so maybe this time we actually have an 800 volt battery. I don't know what's up with the IM5 I tried yesterday, but with 80% battery, 16 degrees Celsius, how schnell is this? Let's try from a standstill this time, since it's so late anyway. Whoa! I think it was so schnell that the car scanner data didn't show correct. It was just too slow to update. Whoa! Well, let me see. I did bring Draghi. Maybe we should test acceleration after the charging test. Oh, this is gonna be a long night. I better get some battery or Red Bull. Okay, but anyway, now let's try. So if we just put on the pilot activated, okay, go a little bit schnell. Nice and quiet, smooth ride. Just like the IM5. Yeah, okay, I need to adjust it a little bit more. Wow. Huh? It feels really good so far. I like it. By the way, big shout out to what used to be Bavaria, but now Hedin Automotive and Kine, who works at Alnabru. Yeah, they are the one who provided me the car. So yeah, I'm looking at the torque distribution now. And we are comfort mode, and I can toggle here the side swipe menu. If I go to eco mode, it's still 90/11. Interesting. And then if I go to sport mode, it's the same. So I wonder, does it have torque sleep at all? It seems like it's always running on overdrive, but with a different distribution only. And back to eco is like this. Okay, I just noticed that the rear view mirror here is quite narrow, actually super tight. But that's what the camera in the back is for, because if you scroll up here, or down, you get right there. You scroll up, you see this view. It's the camera. Yeah. Then you get a way better view of what's going on in the back. And even now at night, it's quite nice and clear with high resolution, but also good low light performance. But but this, I was gonna show you here. It slows down in the curve, and it's not even that sharp curve. Dude, MG, you guys need to fix this. It's driving like a Toyota driver. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go check the weight here. But I just noticed that the trip meter here, yeah, great way to have a trip meter, but it seems to be capped at 298 watt-hour per kilometer. Shit, man, seems like we found the first flaw. This car seems to be quite thirsty. Alright, front axle. Oh, 1240. Uh-oh. It's gonna be more than twice on that for the whole car then. Oh, 3,500. Oh, this is a heavy beast from the east. Oh, check this out. When you change lane, we have the auto lane change. The blind spot monitoring will come up on this side, but then when we change lane back, then you see the display here, but then the blind spot comes on the far right here, which is closer to where you want to check your blind spot here manually also. Huh? Great. We're now at Circle K Innlandsporten. I'm going to show you guys the external at night. And then in the back, it should be the same as the IM5, right? Oh yeah. Looks kind of badass in the back. Wait, let me check a chart port. Oh, it's a bit lower on this car versus the IM5. How do you open it? It is here, right? I haven't read the manual, but I can feel like it's supposed to be here somewhere. There, okay, yeah, figure it out. Usually there's a button. You press that button via the chart port. Okay, and you can also close it here. Well, but okay, let me show you now the plan. It is a bit cold over here. 4 degrees Celsius only. Yeah, brace yourself. Winter is coming. And I noticed that when I was traveling, zoom in a bit, here along Mjøsa, then the temperature was around 9 degrees Celsius because you still have the heat from the big lake here. This is Norway's biggest lake. But if you go here, it's going to be cold. So I'm going to try to do this loop here. Wait. Do we see? Okay, there. It's 26 kilometers times 2. It should be long enough to get an impression of the consumption. So, all right. I reset the trip now. Let's see if it caps at 298 then. Okay, we're on the move. I'm going to do the 120 test first. We have to cruise 124 to match 120 GPS speed. And yes, the consumption is 298. Shit. How are they going to determine the consumption then? I have to figure out a way to measure that. Oh, I forgot to check the tires, but nice ride. Maybe slightly bouncy. Yeah. This car doesn't have any active suspension or air suspension. At least I didn't find any setting on how to change the ride quality. So I don't think it has any CDC or anything like that, adjustable dampers. But it feels similar to other SUV. Okay, it wags a bit sideways, but it's just comfy. It's not tack sharp, It's not like a Porsche Macan or anything like that. It's just a comfy family rider. I also feel like the seats, they are not that sporty, not that bucket seat, more like comfortable seats, perfect for my big fat ass. Yeah, and maybe your ass too. And also in the tunnel, seems quiet. I think that's what matters, comfort and space for people who are looking for cars like this. And of course, you still have the 751 horsepower if you want to go alone without the family. And the headlight seems to be pretty good. See here in the bridge, boom, it shines high and wide. When we go on this motorway stretch, I cannot test the headlights too much because there is not much bush close to the motorway. But it seems good. Need to test this more, of course. Oh, but the auto steer tends to struggle in merging, and also it slows down in the curves. So yeah, hopefully a software update will fix that. You see, now we're driving along Mjøsa, and then the temperature is 7 degrees Celsius. Okay, it was 8 just now. I think it's dropping because we have clear sky. Wait, let me see. I need to adjust the speed. 123 or 124. But this is the best we can do right now because I have to return the car tomorrow. So ideally at 8 degrees Celsius. So ideally, yes, we want to test this in 20 degrees Celsius, but well, the car arrived kind of late this year. Oh man, we are done with the test and the consumption is 298. The problem is that, yeah, I need to figure out what the real consumption is. Because here we have another trip. This is current mile trip since, I don't know, when I leave the car and lock it and come back, it doesn't reset. So I'm not sure if it resets when you charge the car or something, but okay, whatever, you know, okay, what we're gonna do is that we will reset this and then we go for the 90 test. And this time I will pay attention to what the percent here is when we start the 90 test and when we end up. And I'll try to estimate what the 120 test was. But that is based on that the state of charge scale is linear. Okay, so, all right, but anyway, let's reset and then go for the 90. All right, on the move again. And this time we have to cruise at 93 to match 9. Or is it 93 or 92? I'm not sure. Okay, seems to be 93. Yeah, you see, now we start getting some numbers. So yeah, another way is to drive a 90. We can drive actually after the 90 test, we can do another 120 test. And then based on that, we could also calculate things. Okay, so I have my ways of figuring out what they're trying to hide, huh? Okay, now we're gonna test the sound system. Well, there's some bass here. Sounds like a subwoofer in the back. I didn't pay attention. It was, all right. It slows down even in the 90. It slows down even in the 90 test. What the heck, man? Okay. I mean, it sounds okay. But doesn't mean it's good. Well, let's test. Well, let's listen for linearity in the bass and some. But it sounds clear, but maybe not tack sharp. Yeah. The bass sounds quite linear. I mean, it sounds okay. I need to listen more. Now you're gonna listen for rattling in the doors. Let me skip a bit here. Also, there are some rattling here. Not that much though. Roughly the same as the Mercedes CLA. Okay. But here comes the weird part. You listen to this. Okay, there's some bass. All right, great. But when you crank it up, it does a weird variant of a clipping. But this car is fairly new, so if you suppose the only for the myth of it, if you play a brand new speaker at max, it might not play that well. Some say you need to soften it up for maybe 50 hours, 100 hours before the elements are nicer, and yeah, I don't know. But okay. And the last. I mean, overall, it sounds okay. I mean, it sounds good. I think it's just lacking maybe some of the deepest bass that the high-end system offers, but also some detail, maybe the mid-high tones are missing. And of course, the bass starts clipping, and it doesn't play that loud. So it's somewhere between a 6 and a 7. Man, I'm gonna say, for a premium brand from MG, I would expect slightly more ambient light than this. There's just one LED strip there and one strip here. There is no center LED here. Nothing under there. Yeah, you see a light that's from the inverter I use. And then also nothing in the back. Huh? Most other cars, they will have LED strips almost all over the place. Okay, this time was 235 watt-hour per kilometer, and I know from experience that the high-speed run, especially with a boxy car, could be over 30% higher consumption. So that means, yeah, it should be more than 300, maybe 310, 320 watt-hour per kilometer. See, when you press the mute button here, it pauses the music. Great! Yeah. Why would you play the playback music in the background when you mute it, right? Okay, well now the consumption is rising now, but as long as it doesn't rise to 298, then we are good. But okay, I also noticed something else. Here, this stretch here, actually these curves here, many Chinese cars tend to slow down, but here it doesn't happen. Yeah. So actually, the few places they slow down seems to be some corner cases, well actually, okay, a slight slowdown, but we can accept that, just 1 kilometer per hour slowdown. When it slows down 5 or 10 kilometers per hour, then that's bad. Look at this. It actually makes perfect sense to have this ultra wide screen, horizontal screen, because you can get the whole title of this song with Elton John, Gladys Knight and Steve. And there's even more space available there. Okay, so with a low speed run combined with a high speed run, the average was 272 watt-hour per kilometer. And then also check how many percent we spend here. Okay, so in the 90 test we spent 12.5%, and then the 120 test we spent 16.9%. So that is 35% increase. That sounds plausible, but then if you look at the average for the 2 run we did now, that's 272, and then in a low speed it was 235. So what you do is you take 272 minus 235, and what you get there, you add that to 272, and that becomes 309 watt-hour per kilometer. So that is what the car was trying to hide, that it was actually somewhat thirsty. And then 309 versus 235 watt-hour per kilometer is 31% increase. So yeah, I believe that number more than the percent, because it seems like the percent is a bit weird, plus that the percent could be non-linear. So okay, we figured out the consumption now. We don't have time to measure the whole battery capacity. We just have to guess that it is 96.5 as the spec claims. But now I'm trying to heat up the battery. The navigation here seems just like the regular MG, like the lower tier, you know, the poor man's IM. It's not that great, but at least it shows the charging stations. If you click here, for example, multiple places, okay, and then you can find Ioniq 350 kilowatt, and okay, select, So you're gonna navigate there, and you see how many percent you will arrive with. 14%. As weird thing is we don't see the percent here, but I have 14.5 supposedly. Okay. All right. All right, you can add charging stop, but it's just 300 meters away. But I navigated there, but when I look in car scanner, doesn't seem like the power is going up. So I don't know if we have any preheating here. And the battery is at 16 to 20 degrees Celsius. So I don't know if that's good enough. In general, the battery temperature should be around 25 degrees Celsius to get the maximum speed. So, well, maybe I can just use yo-yo technique then. Ancient Chinese secret. Okay, so what the heck is this yo-yoing? Well, it is to heat up the battery if you don't have battery heating technique from the car. So what you do is just floor it and then let go of it. You don't want to go too fast, you know. Maybe trigger some regen also. So regen is not that strong. And you floor it again. You let off. Let the regen do its work. And you do this repeatedly for just 5 minutes. And that should heat up the battery quite nicely. Okay, we are now at Ioniq. I chose these Alpitronics because I believe they can actually supply 400 kilowatt. I'm going to check here. It's ramping up. Yeah, this is 800 volts. I wonder what the heck happened with that IM6, why I was only getting 420 or something. Amp is ramping up. 299. Oh, wait. 304. Do we see? Are we gonna see? Hey! Are you gonna see 390 or what? That's pretty cool. Wait, it's we have some decimal in percentage. It goes in bursts. Huh? What? Okay. Oh, 323 kilowatt now. Wow, nice. But I don't know what the minimum battery temperature is needed. Well, okay. This seems to be misreported. It seems to be actually 112. No, it's 300. Okay. Well, the recording I do here is actually useless. I need to redo it somehow. Oh, okay. Okay, I switched profile. Now I'm using the MGS5 and something and Marvel. And this time when we connect, it still works. And then it doesn't have the exact same variables as the previous. Yeah, I think this time the battery power is correct. Let's see if you floor it now. Oh, 400 kilowatt. What? 400 kilowatt at 20% state of charge left. That's 544 horsepower. Wow. We're back at Ioniq. I'm not gonna bother going out because it's cold outside. Wait, we don't see the outside temperature now when we are charging. Kind of weird. But yeah, let me see. This time, the power seems to be correct. And then, the battery was cooling down as I drove. So maybe the car wants to keep it at around 20 to 27. All right, I think I'll just keep this session. But to check which state of charge is correct. So, wonder how we're gonna achieve 395 kilowatt. Oh, really? Charge. No slow charging during quick charging. What the heck? 42 to 45 degrees Celsius. Pretty much full battery. The state of charge is the 99 that counts, not the 96. All right, how many kilowatt do we get? Sport mode is on. 430. Okay, wait. I wonder if it's limited because of too hot battery. Okay, batteries cool down to 29 to 34 degrees Celsius. Let's test again. How much power we have? And they have around 80% state of charge. Whoa, look at that, 500 kilowatt. So if we assume 96.5 kilowatt hour, we actually get okay range, but the consumption is high. But that could be because it's cold outside. So if we try again sometime, I'm not sure when this is going to happen this year though, in let's say 18 to 25 degrees Celsius, we should get lower consumption and then more range. But maybe that doesn't matter because I can see that this car charges amazingly fast. So maybe we came to the point where it doesn't matter how efficient the car is. You can get a big spacious car. I bet this car can take probably way over 25 banana boxes, maybe 27, 28. You know, it's quite big, like a Q6 e-tron, or actually an Xpeng G6, you know. So maybe it doesn't matter how thirsty it is, because you can just hammer it and charge fast and then go for it. And then, especially in Norway, there's plenty of 350 and 400 kilowatt chargers out there. So then, no problem, right? Yeah, so, well, by the end of the day, we're gonna check 1,000 kilometer challenge and see how fast it is and if you get any problems. But overall though, what should I say about the IM6? It's comfy, spacious, like I mentioned before. Yes, I feel like I repeat myself, but it's like a conclusion. It doesn't seem to be that premium compared to some other cars, like the Xpeng G6, the new interior and the new ambient light looks awesome, better than this car. That's my opinion, at least. And also I feel like maybe this doesn't have that great features here versus some of the other cars, you know, like Seeker 7X, but that's more expensive. Then you have the electric opening door, the curtains in the back and so on. But compared to, you know, the cheaper MGS5, then I feel like this IM6 is way better. So it's right on par with many other competitors, like the MEB platform or some of the Tesla Model Y. So, of course, if you're allergic to Tesla and if you don't want some of the other brands and you are interested in MG, maybe this IM6 is a pretty good choice for you then. Yeah, go check it out. So that's going to be for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.